Hey everybody, Duck Hunter 1500 here. So I just previously put out a video about me getting this car licensed, and she's finally legal, as you can see from the plate up front. But now I got a treat for you guys, because today we're going to be doing 5 things I love about my Subaru WRX. So the first thing we're going to talk about is the front end. Now I love like the older Subarus, like the Blob Eye, and I love the look of the Bug Eye, but something about the Hawkeye is just so aggressive looking. Not to mention like the hood scoop on these cars. I love how they're so big and they're actual functional hood scoops because of the top mount intercooler. And it's just, I love the front end of this car. I love when you're in the driver's seat driving the big hood scoop on the hood. I love the aggressive look of these headlights. Just overall, I love the front end of this car. It's really one of my favorite things about this car. As you can tell while we're sitting in here, just if you'd be driving, basically this is what you would see. I just love how like the hood scoop's just like so big and so visible through the front of the car. It's still one of my favorite things about these cars. Now, while we're in here, let's hit topic number 2, which is the interior of this car. Now, a lot of people are like, oh, they're so basic, there's not a lot to it, they're kind of bland, but I personally love the simplistic like interior they did with these cars. With there's not a lot of buttons and gauges, and it's really what you need, which is just fuel, engine temp, RPMs, and the odometer, which what more could you need besides that? And along with the radio system, it's just the aftermarket radio in this car, and it's just the AC and the heat knobs. I mean, there's nothing much to it, and I love that. With that being said, this brings me to thing number 3 I love about this car, and that is these seats. I love how these stock seats seem like so kind of aggressive, like they sit there and they really hug you really well when you're going into a tight turn or just, you know, daily driving it in general. They're very comfortable, they're very like good looking seats. And I mean, if you were to try to race this car or try to take corners with this car really well, I think these seats will do just fine, rather than going out and buying aftermarket seats if you don't necessarily have the money to.
You never know what's around the next corner. You never know what's around the next corner.
Now, thing number 4 I love about this car would have to be the way these Subarus sound with these aftermarket exhausts. If you look at my previous video, I showed you me installing the exhaust with my friends, which still huge shout out to Carl, Clem, and Matt Schluter for helping me out with that. I wouldn't be able to do it by myself, but the way these cars are built, like they have like this Subaru rumble that everyone's trying to go for, and with this exhaust, while it is not the best exhaust you could buy, it still does the job pretty well. And I love the way it sounds when I'm getting on her on the highway, or I'm going through like some kind of overpass or tunnel. I just love the way it rumbles. It just sounds so good. Let's check it out. I love about this car is going to be the attention I get. Now, before you say anything, hear me out. What I mean by that is, let's say I'm driving on the highway and another Subaru passes me. 9 times out of 10 they'll give me a peace sign, a thumbs up, or they'll rev their car at me, which I love that. The Subaru community is so loving and caring for one another. They're very accepting of what you do to these cars, and I'm very thankful to own one at the age I own one at. And also, when I'm driving down the road through my neighborhood or just through some parking lot, I get little kids looking at it and they just love it. They love the way it sounds, they love the way it looks. That just warms my heart, because they don't really know anything about cars, I feel like. So just seeing something they know nothing about it and just amazing them just puts a huge smile on my face. Not to mention, with the last car I owned, which was a 2010 GTI, I ended up really getting like no attention. Everyone hated the car, no one really liked it, which I didn't buy the car to have other people like it, but I wanted something that I could enjoy, that other people could enjoy with me, and that the community would just be very helping and whatnot, which it's not the best, but they're not the worst either. It's just kind of a mix of in between, either love it or hate it. But with this car, it's just nothing but likes. All my friends love it, I love it, my parents love it, my family loves it. And it's just an overall great car. So everybody, that's thing number 5 I love about this car. So everybody, that's it. That has been 5 things I love about this Subaru WRX. If you liked the video, give me a thumbs up. If you want to comment down below. And remember to hit that subscribe button if you want to see more of me in this car grow with Duck Hunter 1500. And have a good day.